Estás en el templo de Su, aclara el color de tu aura, busca la paz en la luz, camina y respira la calma, respeta el silencio del lama, libera los traumas del karma, mira con los ojos del alma, recuerda que Dios eres tú, tienes el futuro en tus palmas, la voz que al oído me habla, aléjame de Belcebú, que yo cuidaré de mi espalda, solo te ruego salud, del resto mi mente se encarga, ilumíname con virtud y podré caminar sobre el agua, eleva mi espíritu, guíame lleno de ímpetu, déjame ganar una copa del mundo como permitiste ganar a Sisu, quiero encender una vela con solo mirarla desde el ataúd, llegar a la cima del Fuji y tomar una foto al cielo más azul, trasciende los planos reales, vive sin barreras mentales, olvida las cosas banales, que digan los tales y cuales, aprende lenguas ancestrales, mantente lejos de los males, recorre los mares, las zonas polares, auroras boreales, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, du la terre à la lune, du la terre à la lune, du la terre à la lune, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, du la terre à la lune, du la terre à la lune, du la terre à la lune, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, que yo solo quiero la luz, yo solo quiero la luz, yo solo quiero la luz. Según mi tesis, mi mundo se mueve por telequinesis, las intenciones y las energías giran como piezas de Tetris, mi vida es un cubo de Rubik, fotografía de Lubeski, dirigida por Stanley Kubrick y banda sonora de Hendrix, nuestras emociones poseen poderes capaces de encender el fuego, el amor a mi madre me haría cruzar océanos y mover el cielo, por mi familia daría la vida volando entre rayos y truenos, mi voz hace que tiemblen los suelos, nuestra fe nos aleja del duelo, recordamos a Dios solamente en instantes que necesitamos ayuda, nunca le hablamos al prójimo de corazón con el alma desnuda, solicitamos perdón según el evangelio de Lucas, al momento que vamos cayendo tememos a la oscuridad absoluta, concédeme el tiempo que sea necesario para hacer ver al invidente y dame el poder que requiero para poder ayudar a mi gente, lléname de sabiduría, aléjame la hipocresía, protege mis crías, mantén en secreto mi filosofía, camina y respira la calma, estás en el templo de Su, aclara el color de tu aura, busca la paz en la luz, respeta el silencio del lama, libera los traumas del karma, mira con los ojos del alma, recuerda que Dios eres tú, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz, yo solo quiero la luz, yo solo quiero la luz, déjame ver la luz, God, déjame ver la luz, God, déjame ver la luz, God, yo solo quiero la luz.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Manufacturing Insanity. We back on the scene. What's going on? It's John Figz here.
Verbal Lexapro.
And Emphatic.
Yeah. We got a couple of special guests in the house, man. But what was that we was just playing right there?
That one right there is Little Super, Lilsupa.
Yeah.
Cat from Venezuela.
Yo, dope, man. That's crazy what's going on in Venezuela too, man.
Speak on that.
Yo, it's crazy. Communism to the fullest, man. Crazy. People can't eat. You know what I mean? They're controlling what you eat, how much you can eat. Toilet paper. People don't even have toilet paper out there.
Damn.
Venezuela, man. They're struggling, man. Yo, peace to those brothers, man, and sisters, man. It's guerrilla warfare out there. You know what I mean? They taking it to the streets. They fighting every single day. People dying. They refugees. They fleeing to different countries. They're in DR heavy.
Wow.
Yeah, in DR, Puerto Rico, everywhere, man. Sad.
No, yeah, definitely, man. It's just, I don't understand why it has to be like a political thing. Like, oh, we have to have this certain system in here in place because we think it's best for you. But if the people are struggling, how is it the best for the people? You know?
Exactly. Look what's happening in Puerto Rico, man.
Yeah.
That's some crazy. It's still going on.
Yeah.
People don't have light. You know what I mean? Electricity and nothing, man. It's crazy. The food, the fucking.
That and their political status too, as well. You know.
Well, they corrupt, man. They corrupt. They corrupt. The politicians taking all the food for themselves, not sharing it with the people. You know, people dying of hunger. It's crazy. It's some crazy shit, man.
Yeah, I was watching the Dominican news with my mother earlier.
Yeah.
And I see some guy, they caught him for something, and I'm like, damn, man, how fucked up that he got caught. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in DR it's kind of corrupted. You
Word,
know,
word, word.
And you're like, yo, what did the fuck this guy do to get caught? You know what I mean?
You gotta do some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, like, you know, they caught him. You know,
Yeah,
and usually you give a couple $, and you know,
Yeah.
shit disappears. You know.
It ain't like that
So-
though, man. They shooting. The cops out there shooting motherfuckers,
Oh,
shotguns and everything. I seen a crazy video. We got some special guests in the house.
Coming through like smoke in Mortal Kombat.
Word. Yo, take the director's cut, man. The couch.
Casting couch.
The casting couch.
Never
shit,
that,
yeah.
never that.
Word. That's how we running things Hollywood style over here. Word up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we just touching on Venezuela, the brother Lil Supa.
Supa.
It's so ironic though, he using the Lil, right? Because all the
He's
rappers.
He's a short dude.
Not only that, but yo, thank you, brother. Blessings. Not only that, but the Lil is something that's is new now. I mean, it's not new. Lil Wayne started that whole craze, but if you want to rap nowadays, you gotta have that little in front. That Lil. And that's old school. That Lil is old school.
Before Verbal Lexapro, I was Lil.
You was double Lil?
Lil.
Oh shit.
Shit, double L.
Man.
Yo, there's a
Peace,
mic
though.
right there. We got Paranormal.
Yo,
Introduce yourself to the people,
You
man.
can hear me?
Yeah, go talk.
Yo,
talk.
peace, man. Paranormal, a.k.a. Phantom Assassin, Corona Queens representative, man. Glad to make my season debut with y'all.
That's a fact.
A little season debut. Just walked in here late.
Word up.
Had to get some of the brewskis, man, just to get us through.
Cheers.
Cheers,
For
cheers.
those that don't know, Paranormal is the paranormal MC coming at your fleet that you claim is elite.
Wow, that was his first
16
rhyme.
16 years old, for the love
That was
of
his
God.
first rhyme. He ever wrote.
Well, that was one of them.
That was one of
Yeah,
them.
it was definitely one of them. That one always
Word.
sticks out for some reason. Maybe because Porky's embedding it in my head. when
Well,
he did that shit.
yeah. When did you start writing? Like, at what age that you just decided to put words together that rhyme?
I decided to start writing, I would say around 13, 14. But that was like before, like those junior high school days, I actually was a battle MC.
Oh yeah.
You was
and I
battling,
couldn't-
son?
Yeah, I
You
couldn't
was trying to
write-
make smack?
I couldn't write for shit. I didn't know what smack. I didn't know what smack was, but it was, it was out of fun. You know
Fight
what I
Club.
mean?
I think Fight Club was around that
I
time.
think so. I think Fight Club was around at that time. But fucking yeah, I did that. I couldn't really write for shit. I couldn't really construct things well. Then for some reason, when I started dedicating my time around 16, 17 years old, I started dedicating to song structure, alliteration, punchlines, just the science of writing. That battle stuff I did not want to do anymore, and I lost whatever skill I had attached to it.
What was the worst experience you had battling? Like, was it like nerves, or was it a bad diss where you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna punch you in the face? What was it?
Nah, it never got to that extreme. I mean, the worst thing was probably accepting my first loss.
Yeah, that's the toughest
Yeah.
one.
First loss is always
Yeah.
the toughest.
But it's
man.
necessary. I think you got to take L's in life, no matter
Oh, yeah.
what field of what you do, because you have to learn from it.
Yo,
Yes.
I was
You know what I
trying to
mean?
battle too one time, right? My
Man,
first and last battle. My
Yeah.
first and last battle, man. I go to a hookie jam.
Okay.
I crash a hookie jam, and it's for Queensville High School. Queensville. Oh my God! I see my god sister there. I start battling this dude. I said some whack shit, man.
How old are you?
dissed-
How old are you?
I was 15.
You were okay.
I dissed the Queensville girls. I rhymed Queensville with Queens hoes.
Yo, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But
I'll give you a point on
I
that.
dissed the whole party, and everyone started booing, and oh man!
That's gonna happen.
And that was the last time I battled.
Were, were tomatoes thrown at you?
Worse, plátanos and fucking. They were making mango. I got a salchichon thrown at me. I was like, yo,
The cheese.
raw one,
He got
raw one.
the tres golpes.
Yo, fucking onion hit my eye. It was crazy, but yo,
Oh God.
that's you know what I mean. You gotta take this battling, man. That's battling. Life is a battle.
Man,
You know what I
life
mean?
Is,
Yeah,
life
no
is
doubt.
indeed a battle.
Word. Yo, we got and we got other people here too. What's up, brother? What's your name over there?
Yo, what's going on?
Introduce yourself.
Yo,
Yeah.
this is Juan Jaquez, Jaquez for short. Yo, you know what it is? First time here. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Oh
Very,
shit!
very exciting to be here.
Thank you for joining us, man.
No
Thank you
problem,
for joining
no
us,
problem.
man.
Word up.
I love the environment. I love the vibes.
If we could get these
Tight
damn
work.
beers open, damn.
Word. I just popped
Spending like
mines
10
open
minutes
when
trying to
I
open
was
my
on
shit.
bro.
I had to go old school. My keychain is like being worn out like crazy.
Yo, that's yours?
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
worn
like
out. Yo, it was
yeah.
many lonely nights, my friend.
like-
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Son dominicano, papá.
I think-
For
fucked it up.
real.
Desde tapador.
We need a chisel and hammer here. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
Oh,
Wow.
You need a
Cheers to
blowtorch.
that.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
I still don't have mine. What the fuck?
good to me.
Yo, there's still one that needs to be open.
Great. And I am the only one drinking water, ladies and germs.
Oh, I got.
Well,
my
he has
backup-
coconut
I got my
water.
backup water.
You got that high-end water.
He has coconut water. He's a little
Yeah,
fancy
It
today.
coconut.
has like 10% alcohol in it.
Yo, but word. Yo, I was reading something, man. I came across Wale, man. He's a dope artist, man. What do y'all think of Wale?
I don't really know his history like that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
Wale's
know.
He's a dope
I
artist.
heard the name. I haven't.
He's affiliated with Rick Ross and that whole team.
Oh, the young. Is it Young Money?
No.
No, it's
Young
not
Money.
right?
Young Money is Lil Wayne,
Oh,
Drake, and
okay,
them.
okay.
Drake, you were tweeting. We spoke earlier. You tweeted
you
about you love
motherfucker. Yo,
you love Drake's
not-
album, The
nah,
Scorpion.
You bastard. That does not exist. Not even in alternative reality does that exist. No offense, just not my cup of tea. You know.
Yo, thank you, brother. Yo, cheers, fellas. Cheers.
Cheers.
Once again.
Word.
But
Word.
yo, if I can comment one thing, like you brought up
Oh,
Wale, and you said that's Rick Ross's like man that he put him on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I don't know if it was the last or the second or last. My man Najee, shout out to Najee, put me on to one of Rick Ross's albums, and it's like, wait, I never heard Rick Ross rhyme like this.
I mean,
It was something. It was like I was intrigued.
Was
I
it-
really was intrigued. I'm like, damn, why doesn't he rhyme like this more often?
to me, Rick Ross has always had good production. That's why he's at the level, I guess, whatever level you want to call it at, he's at. He's always had good production. Was it the Justice League?
I think
then,
one
you
of
know-
them joints was the Justice League. That
Word,
I heard.
word.
Yeah, yeah.
And then before that heavy 808s and all that stuff, it was Lex Luger. Lex Luger, right?
Wait,
that sounds
Wait,
familiar.
Justice League, any relation to Ninth Wonder in them? Crisis?
I'm not sure. I'm
Okay.
not
Nah,
sure.
Ninth Wonder is part of Justice League. Isn't
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I would say so.
But the reason I bring up Wale, right? He had tweeted something, right? He was fed up. He was like, "Yo, I came across. I read that. I was, yo, this is crazy. He's fed up with the whole industry." So it's weird when you see artists that are in the industry trying to kind of exploit and just bring it to light, bring the truth to the light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of heads are scared of even doing that.
Yeah. So I mean, record sales or being dropped by the label or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm a quote, quote unquote. He was like, "Yo, I'm tired. I'm tired of this music industry. This music industry will take your soul, then make you want to leave. Niggas don't respect humble niggas, and humble niggas don't respect intelligence. They'll ask you for this or that, and you'll deliver, and then they'll say it never happened. Let me air out some people. It'll make headlines. Let me uplift some people. It'll get you buried quicker than you can say lean or Molly. That's crazy.
Wait, when was this?
Damn. It was a while. I want to say a few weeks back.
Nah, that's still fresh, man. I mean, if it's just a few weeks back.
They'll kill you and worship you when you're gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's some real shit, right?
No flowers for the living, man.
No
Nope.
flowers
Oh,
for the
yeah,
living.
No.
Word up.
I mean,
man.
dude, I believe even if our favorite MCs have explained it in their songs in subliminal artistic ways, yeah, there is something very scary on that
hidden hand.
elitist level of fucking the industry. It is, man.
Yeah, man.
There's not a coincidence that you have music that's so popular now that is so
Brain dead?
brain dead, so mediocre, so like, and it's not even a skill; it's a trend. They're
a
not even
trend.
putting for you to build yourself and chisel yourself in skill and put the 10,000 hours in, or even try to elevate to a status that you surprise yourself. It's a fucking trend, and that's a
Word.
scary thing. I'm not even saying it on some conspiracy theorist shit, which I'm
Word.
sure we can get into that too.
Yeah.
But it is not a coincidence that it is a dumbing down thing. I don't think you have to be young or old, or old school, new school. It's for the sake that I think if you perceive it, you can't just brush it away.
Yeah, this beers
what
are
I mean?
fucking hot as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yo, it's so crazy because Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's the biggest shit right now. The dude with the
He
colorful
trends
hair.
Himself.
He what?
He trends himself.
He's a troll.
He trolls and trends himself.
He
man, which-
basically he was kidnapped. He made I don't know. People saying he made up
Nah,
the
that
story
was
where
fake.
he kidnapped.
That was
He got pistol whipped and they robbed him for like $700,000.
He looked clean for getting robbed, man.
Yeah.
You know, he looked.
He looked too clean, right?
Yeah.
Word. And ironically or coincidentally, the next day he drops a single with Nicki Minaj.
Did he?
What a surprise.
Wait, did he really?
And you know what it is? Like, people are stupid. That's it.
well, this is the thing, man. I'm
No,
not.
they're not stupid. I tell you
But
that.
that's marketing today.
It is marketing to him.
Today, that is marketing.
But that's
Today's
like marketing with depravity. Like you deprave and
They don't have
and-
skill.
God. Listen, nothing against the brother. I'm sure I could sit down and have a drink with him. We could, whatever.
Yeah.
But if this winds up being like just this whole fucking trend or some kind of
Publicity stunt.
publicity
Yeah.
stunt.
Which it is.
Yeah, because I really don't know too much of the story. I've just heard about this maybe, but I didn't pay no mind to it. Like when I see that, I don't bother. I'm not interested in seeing any of that shit.
You know, I'm a fan of hip hop, and
Yeah.
I have Instagram, unfortunately. But like, why do they show Tekashi on my shit? That's not hip hop
No,
to
same
me.
here. Nah,
Like,
I don't.
why do I
I
need
don't-
this
hip hop.
information?
That's hip hop
Nah.
in
They morphing
2018.
the culture, man. They're changing the culture.
Whether we like it or not, they are changing the culture.
How they change? How do you think they changed the
What
culture?
do you mean how they? Well, looking at how music was done before, lyrics had bass, lyrics had meaning. Today now, that's a hit.
Yeah, that's
No
dope right there.
words, just a melody, and it's catchable. You know what I mean? It's like it's contagious.
It's
Point
almost like
blank,
chorus
that's it.
first,
You're an
right?
artist. You're done.
Chorus first.
Is it?
And
I mean,
people in general are not even supporting actual lyricists or actual artists that sit down in a room night and day to write something that is intimate to them and share it with the world.
from their soul. Like,
Exactly.
No one
split it
cares
down.
about the music
no
anymore.
one is about that life anymore because they have been so conditioned to not even think about it anymore.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I met this lady. She was like, oh, I'm running late, blah blah. She worked at Broadway, so me fucking around. I'm overhearing her conversation. She's like, oh, I need somebody to fill in for today's show. Me, I'm fucking around. Yeah, well, I get my acting on. Hell yeah, put me in. She goes, how many Instagram followers you have? And I'm like, maybe she's fucking around. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know, in the thousands. Oh no, you need like hundreds of thousands for me to put you in. And I'm like, damn, I only got like 1,000, but they like, yo, that's what matters today. It's what you can do to get the attention of the people. It's not about the music. It's not about
That's what
talent.
it is. Is an
To
attention,
sell.
Is an attention
To sell.
The
But-
bigger the number, the more you're able to sell.
Yeah, but now you're being valued by a number of
Exactly.
users. Like
Exactly.
you're not a human being anymore. You're just a number.
You're not.
I mean, we were a number beforehand anyway. But
You're a number in everything, though. man,
you
this
take
country.
pictures of, I don't know what's popular, cats and hot dogs and food and all that, and then now you're popular because of that.
This I gotta bring up. We were bumping the album on the way here.
Which one? The Drake one that you like so
Not
much?
you bastard,
Drake.
man. Yo, listeners, Figz is fucking around, all right? He's a joke maker.
He's a joke maker. I like that one. He's a joke maker.
Seinfeld. All right, yo, we were bumping the Supreme
Oh.
Blind Tell album on the way here,
Got it. I got it now.
which I believe is one of the top 10 albums of the year, in my opinion. This is a dude. I forgot what his followers were on Twitter, but it doesn't matter. Let's just say he has 30,000, 40,000, which I think that's kind of realistic. His followers.
That's decent for a number for them.
Yeah, well, let's just say that's not even decent. Look at his fans. His fans buy physical copies. They buy his shirt. It's not about, oh, let me get a discount.
Right.
Oh, I'll find a way to stream it or I find a way to download it legally. Like he has a core of fans
Word.
that he incites that is like, nah, this is how it was back in back in our day, like when we looked forward to when an album dropped, that we set money aside. Like you remember when Stillmatic dropped? Didn't you like set money aside? Like yo, Nas is back. Nas is fucking back. Like
that feeling, that
yeah,
Tuesday
that
feeling.
Yeah, it's like
going to numbers and shit.
It's like you're anticipating this long-awaited movie you've been waiting for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And like I think that's why I got so much respect for West Side Gun, because his style invoked fans to catch that feeling again.
I think he
said
said
got me. I had to buy his album because I was waiting for so many months.
He said
know?
in an interview, I think he said, I don't have millions of followers, but the followers that I have are fans. They're not followers.
Yeah. They're
So
supporters.
they're
man.
supporters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference, man. I mean, cloud chasing is the big thing now.
Yo, big time. There's very rare that you have actual fans. You most likely have followers just to say, oh, I have him in my following feed or show, but it's not really about, oh, I know what he did back in the days, I know what he's coming about, or anything like that. We are completely disconnected in today's world. So it's crazy. It's crazy what's going down.
And you know what's crazy that you bring that up? Like we are disconnected for the sake that we're uncomfortable. I'm not gonna say us, cause who knows? Like everyone's personality here is different. But with that disconnection, we're finding it more alien and more uncomfortable to actually engage with other human beings the way we used to.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
don't think so?
Yeah.
I see that already.
Definitely.
Yeah,
exactly.
I see that already.
Exactly.
Like, there's some people who call, I don't want to talk to this guy right now. I'm going to talk, like, even something simple as that, as you talking to another human being on the phone, is slowly becoming awkward and uncomfortable
Yeah,
for
yeah.
people.
You
know
see,
what I mean?
these things here, the podcast, couple years, is going to be all text messaging
You think so?
through the internet.
I mean,
People don't even want to talk face to face with each
Big
other.
time.
I mean, but the core of the podcast, the basis of the core element is of the conversation piece.
It's going to be through text.
You think so?
I'm telling you, man.
Oh man, that's
gonna be
that's
crazy.
Just sad, man.
Hopefully we're here to make changes, cause
Yeah.
we can't
hopefully.
have that.
Yo,
Speaking-
Black Mirror's getting truer and truer every time I fucking watch that
Black
show.
Mirror is a
Exactly
dope
what I
show.
wanna
That's
say.
such a
dope
dope
show.
Exactly. That and Carbon. What is it?
I heard of Carbon. I
Yo,
haven't watched
Carbon
it.
is sick. So crazy. It's a must watch.
I heard good shit about it though.
It is
Yeah.
interesting, but it's so sad. That's where humanity is going.
What's the name of that show?
Carbon?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it a while ago.
I think Altered
Altered
Carbon.
Altered
Yeah.
Carbon. Yeah.
Yo, Juan, man, listen.
Yo,
Speaking of music, we're going to take it to another art form, which is drawing. And how do you feel of you're an artist?
Yeah.
So how do you feel drawing something by hand opposed to being digital? Everything's digital now.
So, all right, it's a very interesting field because so you have freehand sketches.
Right.
You're more delicate to the touch, and you could really go in and be as detailed as you wish. Digital gives you the same ability, but times, let's say, 100. Because now you're dealing with, on top of your hand drawing, now you're adding a graphical element that couldn't be possible previously.
That's kind of like autotunes.
Sort of, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
to
now
music.
with these tools, you're able to emphasize, or not even emphasize, you could actually amplify your abilities and your artistic imagination at that. So now it's not just drawing a real life sketch of somebody. Now you could actually, taking it to the digital platform, you could do an actual real life of a person. Plus, you could do the background of a whole completely different universe that looks realistic to the eye, but it only lived in your mind, and you only have the tools and able to express them.
I got a question.
That's dope, man.
Yo.
Do you think the mistakes you do in art is art within itself?
Yes, because
see.
without those mistakes, you don't know what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
I
definitely true.
highly
You know?
concur with
So, I
that.
mean,
That's,
we-
that's
we
being
need-
human.
Yeah.
Exactly. We need mistakes in order for us to appreciate what's right.
That is
I
Word
think-
You know what I'm
up.
saying?
Word
So
up.
I think
without-
when that idea is crazy because I think about RZA not quantizing his beats.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
You know,
What-
it's
what
not a
is it- what-
mistake. It's just it gives it more swing. You know what I'm saying? So
What do
I
you
don't
mean?
know. I
Not
thought that was
human,
relative.
yeah, the
not
human-
quantified? What do you say?
Quantizing, like
Yeah,
everything goes
quantizing.
on beat. Like
Oh,
when you make
okay,
music,
okay,
everything goes
Yeah.
on beat.
okay.
Like what's it called? Syncopation, when you just do it off, like I guess freehand. Like
His flow is like that too. 'Cause
Yeah.
He don't be on beat sometimes.
yeah.
Right.
Gives it that humanized feeling. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but look what RZA has done with him not being on beat. He could say so many things that.
We're
he
talking
couldn't say-
lyrically.
Yeah, lyrically.
Okay.
Even lyrically, like RZA not intentionally being on beat opens up other avenues to say things that he couldn't say if he was on beat. You know what I mean? Like
Funny Bone Tickler?
the what's that verse? Impossible. Tell me that Impossible verse wasn't crazy.
Yeah, that song Impossible.
That shit was a fucking quotable to me. And I know Ghost got the quotable for that song, which one of the most heartfelt.
You
Ghost
think
verses.
so? He wasn't even in Topic. What you talking about?
I kind
in
of
there?
like that though.
He wasn't even
Dude,
on
the
Topic.
Wu-Tang Forever album, was all on streams of consciousness. That's why I love that fucking album. It was all a stream of consciousness.
It was. No, it
which I
was.
thought was no one has done that in hip hop, man. At that time, well, maybe Cool Keith. That was Cool Keith.
I think
was a big-
Paranormal's.
The
Paranormal
consciousness
does
to
that too.
to a full degree.
I think so.
I've done it a good amount of times. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I've definitely done it a good amount of times.
Word. No, but I mean that's what it is, man. With art, you know.
I wanted to talk to Juan about his endeavors in the Dominican Republic, like the whole solar power situation.
Oh, nice.
Like if you
that
could,
idea, yeah, that was an idea we were
but
talking
first-
about.
That you guys going to the high tech, to the future?
Yeah, man.
But first, you think you can bless us with? How should I say this? Like, do you think like your artwork crosses over into like the advocacy of solar power? Do you put that in your work?
Oh, baby. All right.
Now we're cooking.
Good question.
Yeah, man.
Great question.
I wrote
It's
that
a
one
song,
down in
right?
my house. You know what I mean?
All right. Yo,
Ah.
all right.
That's
so,
what's up, man.
Wow, that shit just gave me goosebumps. All right,
Yeah,
so
man.
Pete. So what I do? Well, I do art, right? So let me see, past 7 years or so. No, I gotta go back. Okay, 10 years ago, I used to work in a lockdown facility or whatever with kids that had behavioral issues. So this basically opened up the doors for me to see what basically goes on when kids need help and they need basically guidance. So one of the things that I learned about the program was that they had few activities for the kids, but they were not really hands-on with the kids. So one day I decided to, you know what, I need to break this mold because I cannot do this. I can't sit down around helping around and acknowledging that I could do a little bit more, and these kids are just getting basically medication rather than one-on-one attention. So instead of me going about the whole curriculum of sitting down, watching TV or playing video games, this on and so forth, me as an artist at the end of it all, I began with my creative juices and developed these characters, which are like simple stick figures. These stick figures now are basically, I designed them to inspire younger kids to express themselves however they want it to, just for the simple fact for them to be able to be creative and express how they feel. So me taking this as a carrier or a mobile endeavor or project, I decided to go about it in setting up a whole product line of the characters. That's one. Two, I'm looking into growing it into learning centers in DR, let's say Puerto Rico, in like Campito sides. You know what I'm saying? Like little countrysides where basically schools don't really exist. Why not bring it to them? So to me, I feel that if I make enough waves with my characters, I'm able to generate enough finances to support these learning centers that will help others, rather than for me to continue taking from my audiences or my supporters and just keeping it for buying Ferraris and shit like that. Because you know what? Who
Salute.
fucking
Dope,
needs
man.
20
Yeah.
fucking Ferraris
Salute.
anyways?
That's dope.
You know
That's
what I mean?
real.
Like, I feel like with 80 grand a year, I'm happy. I could sustain my family with it and all that good stuff. Everything else, que se joda. We donating that shit to learning centers y pa research y otra vaina.
Yo, salute, brother. I respect
That's
that. man.
dope,
Powerful,
man.
I
It's
highly
very
respect
powerful.
that, man.
Go right on, guys. You know what I mean?
And that's something that you touched upon, that especially in the arts. Like, I think that is so crucial for education.
Big time.
Like for a child during like especially the
Yes.
elementary school years, it's something crucial. Like, what is knowledge without creativity, and vice versa.
Exactly. Everything we see, we touch, and we hear is creativity.
Yeah.
You
And it
take that,
passes
remove
on.
that from school. Now you got a plain board, basically a cardboard, just doing whatever is told.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
need that.
And it's not even learning.
Exactly.
Is memorizing.
Exactly. We don't
That's what
need
it
that.
is. You're memorizing.
Because who's gonna make the
answers.
world better? It's not a fucking robot. It's a
can't-
freaking human being that actually connects with the environment it's in.
The spark, man.
And you know what I mean, showing compassion and everything else that come with being a human being.
But AI is right around the corner,
No,
man.
it doesn't matter.
man, we're done.
AI is an
We're done.
extension of the human.
We're having
kind.
sex
You
with
see what I'm saying?
robots, man.
Yo, that's people that are completely lost already. You
I
know
mean,
what I'm
wouldn't you? I mean, I would try it though. I'm
saying?
not
No,
gonna lie.
fuck, get out of here.
You wanna try that shit?
What are you talking about?
Yo, I'm kind of.
You see, that's the problem. You're thinking about the feeling.
Yeah, it feels
All
good.
right? Exactly. That's empty. That's that. Oh, that's that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of curious though.
Yeah,
Wait.
I
How
want to
many
get some
times you
robot
gonna say
pussy,
your
nigga.
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Wait. Emphatic and Figz. You guys are talking about like transferring your consciousness.
We're
to
talking-
AI?
No,
Transfer
we-
my semen.
we were
to
talking-
a robot.
Not transferring.
Oh,
We were thinking of transferring. We were running a train on a robot.
On a
Transfer
robot.
from
Yeah,
dude,
Seven to-
nah,
7 to the F.
nah, man, nah.
Yo, you
Ain't-
gotta get
ain't nothing like a real fucking woman, man. When
Nah.
you
Yo,
guys
but
have that
then
they're
intimacy,
making it
like-
so realistic.
Yeah, and then
You won't know the
women
difference.
nowadays
But
are
it's
getting
not real.
sidetracked. Women-
And-
man.
Nigga, you
She'll
saw
make-
Blade Runner, man.
she'll
You
make
know
you-
what
Yeah,
happened,
but you
man.
could download something that she'll talk to you what you want to hear.
yeah.
Yeah. And she'll make you a sandwich right after.
Yo,
But
Yo.
all right, but this is the ultimate.
Papi, esto es tuyo.
You got now you gotta. Yo, wait. See, now
You seen Ex Machina? That joint
Yeah,
was
I
crazy.
wanted
I
to
haven't
see
seen
that.
it.
I
That's a
haven't
dope flick,
seen it.
man.
I haven't seen it.
That bitch went AWOL.
But see, that was the same thing with Blade Runner 2049. Like, to a far, not a far distant future. I forgot. I think it was 20. What was it? 2149. 2049. I'm sorry.
2049.
AI was so advanced that they were born without knowing that they're cyborgs, or for the sake that they started. It's a highly philosophical movie. Like, what's a soul? What's a human with a soul? What's a human with, like? It's a very deep philosophical movie. That's why Blade Runner is one of the illest fucking films of all time to me. Both of those parts, B.
You seen? So you compare it to the first one, the remake.
You're saying, okay, you're gonna have a sex a cyborg, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
It's a human being.
Is it a human being?
It's gonna be a
By
human
definition,
being.
it's not even
Look,
human, no.
the creator.
It's a being, but it's something else.
but then
It's
you're
a
It's a
being.
human
It's
being.
still a machine.
it's a
no.
machine,
no.
man.
Machines are gonna
No.
listen.
No.
Dinosaurs had their time.
No.
We're just primates. We have our time.
No.
There's gonna be a time where we're not gonna be here. Who's gonna be next? AI is gonna
You
be
see-
next.
see,
Well,
y'all keep on stressing that we're not gonna be here.
We will be here. We're gonna be the next people in the zoo. We're gonna be the
Well,
animals in the
hopefully
zoo.
not.
AI is gonna have us. They're gonna
Slave
visit
labor.
us in the
We're gonna,
zoo.
we're gonna be the
Not.
slave labor. Is that?
That's
We
the
are-
reason why
we
we
are
need people
gonna
to
be-
get up on
we're-
their game.
we're
at
gonna
the
be the pets.
scientific
supposedly
level.
conspiracy theories. We
Well,
came here to be slaves.
AI is
Well,
being so.
That's deep. There's some other
That's a
level.
whole- yeah, that's a whole-
AI is
some,
being so advanced that scientists are pulling back on research because they're getting scared because
It's
it's
too
so.
late.
Yeah.
Well,
It's too
that's the
late.
problem. I mean, if you see a problem, you should not turn around because of fear. You need to turn around because you already have the solution to it.
Mm.
Because now, if you go about it and you let AI take over,
Playing
that's
God,
because
man.
we played God. First of all, we
Yeah, they're
played
playing
God,
God. They're trying
bringing
to play
that
God.
up to life. Then cleaning your hands, not taking responsibility of what you just finished creating.
Damn.
So therefore, why are you even bothered then?
It's
Listen,
I mean, there's got to
obsession.
be an off switch.
Exactly the
gotta be
point.
an
But
off
the
switch.
point
Well, it's
that we're
always,
missing
but
out on.
there's gonna be a point that
where they know
they're
the
gonna,
off switch
they're
is
gonna
there.
know the fucking off
But the
switch.
problem is that we need everyone, and then we're talking about everyone, 99+% to be in the boat of learning what this science
Listen.
is about.
Hold that thought, cause you right now, brother,
Were you playing Computer Love?
something like that.
Yeah, I can't hit that nuts. Technical difficulties.
Doesn't work on mine. Doesn't work on mine.
Well,
Is this the right one?
yeah, it's the same one I used.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, just give us a second.
You might have to take the case off.
Is it going all the way in?
It's the case.
That's what she said.
Oh.
For whom the bells toll, tensions emote. Cap of the hill exposed, abandon all hope. Welcome my comrades with the toast, leaders honored, rocking inverted cruise chamada. Lost souls brought forth from the sins of the father. Bible codes and load, apocalyptic authors of horror. Survivors of the darkest hours in this world of corporate monsters. Prophets of doom, demons and ties and suits strive for loot. Want you, souls are auctioned in the global showroom. Reach the highest senses, soul extension, the cosmic nexus. Hidden message stored in the new and coexist. My peace remain resolute. Pursue the truth declared offensive. Rebels level-headed, in the sickest state of senses. What's valued the most seems lovely and precious. Dodge the fall, they got you worshiping the bling and Benzes. Pyramids of the Pentagon, scripted face and puppet demagogue. So fuck your money shrine in your house of God. Trapped in Babylon, brainstorm to rise form. Opposition brought forth by the wicked and lost. If my pawns reach across, grasp the holy cross. If the world is finished, it ain't the first time it ended, y'all. Trapped in Babylon, brainstorm to rise form. Opposition brought forth by the wicked and lost. If my pawns reach across, grasp the holy cross. If the world is finished, it ain't the first time it ended, y'all. Cyberdyne exists. It's not just a Hollywood script. Flip with high caliber mindsets, fully equipped. Glorify violence. The feeble-minded shots to know the slightest leaks of information that lead to unified riot. Master plans granted passion through the effigies of Baphomet. Initiated by unusual sexual practices. Bohemian Grove, Moloch and Stone, mixed scrolls. Esoteric and monolithic in tone. Exchanges sold to propose. Limited edition chrome explodes to make a point known. By assassins in the message media fails to mention. Probably committed with a blank expression. Neutralize targets, made examples of, and inject fear in all of us. Deposit clips at your noggin. Big brothers watch. You can't remove the blood stains in the star-spangled carpet. We're echo bolts of the force, the pieces of SWAT garment. Alarming your squadron, we risen where most have fallen. Trapped in Babylon, brainstorm to rise form. Opposition brought forth by the wicked and lost. If my pawns reach across, grasp the holy cross. If the world is finished, it ain't the first time it ended. Trapped in Babylon, to rise form. Wicked and lost in my palms. If the world is finished, fuck it.
Oh, my man Juan died of the tiger.
Yo, just for the record, that was Rocky 3, right? I remember that was Rocky 3.
Damn, I want to say Rocky 2, man.
I don't think it was 2. I think 2 played because 2 started with him heading to the hospital, right?
Yo,
And then they played the joint with that big pun sample. Dun, dun,
do you think our listeners will know?
Right. They know.
Maybe our listeners
Comment.
should just drop a comment.
You
know
know,
what I'm saying?
drop
Drop
a
a
comment.
comment right there.
Yeah,
Let
drop a
us know.
comment below.
Let us
'Cause,
know.
I'm convinced it's part 3, man. That's just me. We get into that.
Nah, I don't know, man. I say part 2. I say 2.
I
think
I'm
2.
sold on 2, bro.
But let's see.
Yo, so
When we get to right, we'll you get a prize.
Yo,
You get 5 minutes with one of them AI robots.
Yo, wow. La salsa.
I don't know it will be clean though, but you get it.
Yo, so back to this AI biz. So you guys mentioned
Oh,
Ex Machina. I think you guys should also once you
wanna
watch
see that. I
that,
definitely
once you
wanna
watch
see that.
that, go into Uncanny. Uncanny will make your jaw drop. for real.
I heard of the title. I don't
You heard
know
of
if
the
I-
Uncanny?
title, but the content within it, yo, is mind blowing.
you
It's
you know
outrageous.
when we first linked up today, you
Uh.
brought up the whole They Live.
Yeah.
I want you to
movie.
talk
That's a
about
dope
that a little
movie,
bit,
man.
man.
Oh, damn.
And its relationship to what we were talking about
Cult
earlier. I know.
classic.
Rowdy Piper. Ruddy,
Classic.
what is it? Rowdy
What?
Piper?
Yeah,
Roddy
yeah.
Roddy
Piper.
Piper.
Yeah.
Was
Rest
I'm
in-
here to chew bubblegum and kick some ass. And I'm all out of
Rest
bubblegum.
in peace, man. Rest in
Liddy.
peace, Roddy.
I
Roddy.
mean,
Yeah,
for
rest
Can
in
we talk
peace.
about that? Yeah.
Oof. Oof. All right. So for those that haven't seen the movie, this movie is intense. This goes old school. This old school movie basically is a guy that finds a box of sunglasses. Now, what's so special about the whole commotion of these sunglasses is that when he looks at billboards, he doesn't see what the regular Joe sees, which is could be like shop at Armani or shop at basically or Gucci.
Advertisement.
Advertisement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But instead of seeing the advertisement, it basically when you put on the glasses, it basically tells you to reproduce or to spend more money.
Spend
or
more money.
Basically
Obey.
Obey.
Exactly.
The obey thing was
Obey.
there.
Subliminal messages that you basically do not see you are able to decipher with the sunglasses on. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically a movie that's basically interpreting what's happening today.
Yeah.
Because people are so detached of what's happening that they don't really know what's really being sold to them until it's the last minute and somebody and family members in the bed already. You know what I mean? So
That film was what, 80?
86, I want to say.
Yeah.
So
I
wait
want
a
to say
minute.
86.
The glasses give people an altered perception of reality. Is
It
what
basically filters out
Yeah.
what's fake
Wait,
and
Lex-
lets you see the real.
Lexapro, you
Oh,
never
okay.
seen
But
it?
I never seen it. Now
You haven't seen it?
Yo,
Oh.
the
That's a
first
treat.
time I discovered They Live was the Arrivals documentary because they use clips of that to push their point. I don't know if you guys ever heard of The Arrivals
Yeah,
about those
yeah.
Muslim brothers. They talk, they break
Right.
down the Illuminati and all that other shit. Yeah, it's not a movie; it's a documentary on.
But not
YouTube.
only that, though, pardon me, but in the movie, when you are looking at people, you can see who's a zombie, like who's
Yeah,
amongst them
yeah,
and who's not. So if I look at you, you could be poor if you're poor. I look outside, I look at another person, they could be in a skeletal form. That means that they're part of that.
Zombie
That
fight.
agenda.
aliens.
Wait, but
They're
was
part
it
of the agenda. Not zombies, but they're part of the agenda.
But it was like an alien race, right?
Like an alien-
I
yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen the film. I haven't
Conspiracy
seen the
theories.
film in years, but it
Conspiracy
was like an
theories.
alien race. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
they
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it
yeah.
like lizard people.
Oh, Anunnaki.
Reptilians,
Yo, they got
reptilians.
mad
Oh,
crazy
and how many people?
Anunnaki type shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how many people had access to these glasses?
It
So
was just
in the
two of them,
movie,
I think.
only this basically. All right. So in the movie, so he's trying to let people know about this, and to his luck, he actually has a partner in crime, which basically allows him, helps him get a job in a construction site. And this guy basically is looking at him kind of retarded because he's telling him what he sees with the glasses on, but he doesn't believe him.
No one believes him.
No
yeah.
one believes him, and he tried to force him to put on the sunglasses, and they basically have a full-blown fight. After the 10 minutes of fighting, the other individual comes and put on his sunglasses.
Niggas, 10 minutes. What they
Bro,
fought 12
bro,
rounds?
They went,
Nah, man, it was
they
like,
went-
it might have felt like that.
Yo, my dude,
It was a minute,
they went
bro.
in,
It was
my
like a
dude,
minute.
They owned the alleyway, all right?
You had the
They
extended
owned-
version. That's what you saw.
WWF
Blu-ray.
hardcore fight right
Esos
there.
tigres se comieron a pique, loco. But, yo, my dude, it's crazy because after the whole beatdown, it was that he put on the sunglasses to be like, all right, you know what? Whatever. Let me put them on and let me see what it is that you're talking about. And once he put them on, he actually saw things that he did not know existed, which is
Right.
basically in what's happening today.
The
For
same-
those
the
that are
same
getting
plane
the
of
serum
existence,
of
yeah.
actual news doses in our
Right,
everyday life, we start looking at things that are very different than what we were taught to look at things.
Yo,
That's true, man.
Yo, dude, watching The Arrivals the first time, which bugged the fuck out of me, I felt like that too.
The Arrivals?
Yeah.
Mm.
That documentary bugged me the fuck out, man.
yo, talking about altered states and seeing reality for what it is, I just want to give a shout out to somebody I'm looking at right now. Derek, my cousin, he's in the building.
Get okay, Derek.
Yo, you know, like we talk about mental health on the show as well.
Oh, okay, all right.
I told you to hold back and not disclose everything you know
For sure,
earlier
for sure.
because it seems
Yeah.
like you're just like,
Mm.
how should I say, like a torrent, just flooding the industry with, flooding my mind with all this information. I
With
wanted
some
to ask
goodness,
you,
some goodness,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
no
saying?
doubt. I wanted to ask you about your take on pharmaceuticals, SSRIs, you know what I'm saying, antipsychotics, and the latter, which would be like, you know, natural herbs stuff. You know, you mentioned Dr. Sebi, if you want
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about that.
Okay.
Speaking of natural herbs, like that.
Yo, my dude. I love herbs, baby. Yo, can we light up, though?
Light it up.
Yo, for sure. All right, so check it. So this is what's happening. So a lot of people seem to. Oh, my backpack is over there. So, anyways, so these psychotic situations are basically derived from food. Majority or vaccination. Now, if you haven't noticed, chemtrails are happening also. which
Chemtrails,
are
yeah.
Also,
That's
a
causing
problem.
allergies, right?
Exactly. Well, we have a whole bunch of issues going down with everything going from pharmaceutical industry to the food industry. And it's kind of sad because people, when you let them know, they think that you're on some other shit and automatically you're rendered out to be
An outlier.
yeah, one of those, you don't know what you're talking about, you just read that and you're
You're crazy.
saying all that
Oh, you're
crazy
talking
shit.
pseudoscience.
Yo,
Yeah.
yeah. If we were the most advanced motherfuckers in the world,
You could curse.
okay, great.
You don't want to curse?
No, I do not.
Okay, respect
You
that.
know? So, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's sad because, yo, we are so advanced for our own good because, like, we had solutions to automotive solutions back in the 1900s. Now, you telling me that we're going to have a nice, decent 30-year gap where technology didn't freaking evolve and we only ended up with these combustion engines? You must be out your mind.
Well, you're talking
You know
about
what
from
I'm
1900s to the 1930s?
Yo, I'm tapping into the 1900s, the discoveries of 1900s, and everything that came after the 1900s.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot that we're missing in between those years. And a lot of people don't seem to put any thought to it because they're living in the present and they're stuck in the present.
It seemed like virtually every decade, though, mankind has somehow brought the best next thing of whether it was sliced bread to
If it's
fucking-
making money.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
If it's
Exactly.
making money.
Exactly.
And if it's
Pharmaceutical
benefiting.
Pharmaceutical companies is a profit
It's a profit organization.
trail business.
I'm going to tell you something about the pharmaceutical company, right? Me being as a dietitian, I work with diabetics.
Yeah.
I work at a clinic that works with a hospital. The hospital, they sent over their patients, right?
Ka-ching.
A lot of them have, they feed them these pills to try out.
Ka-ching.
They're money. That's money.
Samples.
Yeah,
They give them samples. They try the samples. They see the side effects
They get hooked.
in human form. A lot of them have placebos as well.
Oh, yeah.
What I try to do is, I try to wing them off of all of that shit. Do everything naturally, eating, exercising, lose weight,
Nah, so that's
reverse
righteous, man.
diabetes.
Nah, that's righteous right there.
They
man.
got so pissed off because the patients weren't taking what they were supposed to take. They cut funding.
Yeah.
I went from working 5 days a week to working 3 days a week to working 1 day a week.
But do you see the impact of your information?
Yes.
Exactly. Imagine that at a bigger scale.
Exactly. Yes.
Which is the problem that they had to take out one of the greatest,
All right.
unfortunately, to make sure that their system continued to work.
It's money. They're in the government. They're in cahoots with the
Exactly.
government.
And that's synonymous to dudes in the hoods trying to organize themselves just to get vegetation. Like they trying to grow their own gardens, like and for the community, not even for a specific family in an apartment or such and such. Like they're actually trying to do like community gardens in their own hoods,
But I mean,
just for the sake of nutrition and growing your own food and being knowledgeable and you know what I mean, how to cultivate and all that other shit.
but I think that approach is kind of crazy though. You know what I mean? Even though
Crazy good or crazy bad, like?
I think it's both. Crazy
Okay.
good, crazy bad.
So there's pros and cons.
Manufacturing
Yes.
insanity.
Pros and cons. The simple fact that, first of all, you living in the projects, you don't want to start growing things out there in the open. You don't have.
Where the hell you
people-
gonna grow it in the
Yeah.
projects?
Exactly.
And
At
if
your
they allow
windowsill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you.
So,
you
some
don't
people,
have-
some of them have done it on roofs. I've seen some.
I've
photos,
seen. Yeah, they
seen
do.
that.
Well, it's cool, but the thing is like not everyone has the same mentality.
No, of course.
The
not.
moment that you have people that are synchronizing the same frequency and acknowledging what is their purpose, their true purpose within this earth, then then you cannot. I mean, projects could be one of those sources where you could actually have natural foods. But unfortunately, that's not what you're there for.
Yeah.
The projects, I believe, and I feel like coming from the project is just a stepping stool for you to get your life organized and leave. But some people just feel too comfortable Everything is a lot more affordable, and everything is so close. I'd rather just stay.
Well,
Why move?
it's a social project at the same time.
That's why it's called
Exactly.
projects.
Yeah.
But at the same, but
'Cause a lot of people are, and I hate to say this, are blind or just don't see the meaning to anything else. That
Okay.
they don't want. Like, what's the point? Like, I have no shot of getting out of here. That's part of the design. You know what I mean?
yes,
Like-
it is.
Like Verbal said about mental illness, man. All of that coming from a Trump era, right? We're living in a Trump environment.
Unfortunately.
Exactly. It's crazy. And
It's not his-
technology.
it's not his
Bottom
yet
dollar.
because this environment has been marinating. for a
Yeah,
minute.
of course.
And just because we have a president now that actually is pulling all of these strings that shows the actual faces of our country doesn't mean that it's now showing because it's been happening for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's just been under the lid.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
yeah.
like when you say, "Oh, there's a yellow car," and now all of a sudden you start seeing yellow cars every 30 minutes or every 15 minutes. Now you're acknowledging that there's a yellow car happening.
But you know what's freaky? When you're talking about anything and then you go on social media and there are ads of shit that you were talking about.
Exactly.
Isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah,
Yes.
I just
Yes.
noticed that
Yes.
like a
Yes.
week ago.
Exactly.
I'm like, wait
That's
a
some
minute.
fucking
You know
crazy
Wasn't I
shit.
just like looking this up
Earlier
like,
today,
you know?
like in the office, because I do graphic work and whatnot, we upgraded our computers. So all of a sudden, on my freaking Instagram feed, all I see is freaking Dell fucking advertisement and shit like that. I'm like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this?
A
You
surprise.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So smartphones,
Skynet.
shitholes. Give me a prepay and an Ericsson Sony phone. I'm good to go.
You
Give me
ain't
a
going
dumb
back
phone.
to that shit.
Skynet.
You ain't going back
Give me
to
that flip
shit.
phone.
Skynet.
The flip
Yo,
phone, the
dude,
razor. Go back to
Yeah.
Dude, if we get organized, and people are as he said is like on that same synced frequency,
yeah.
humanity always finds a way to survive. In its darkest hours, it always finds
You
a way to
can,
survive.
but not in today's world because
Yeah.
everything is app based. You can't get no apps in no
I don't
freaking
need
Nextel
I don't
and
know
the
that.
Nextel phone. Chirp chirp.
And
Blink.
Yo, but that was dope though,
No,
right?
that
You
was
understand?
dope.
Chirp chirp.
Dude,
was dope.
I think we should probably go back to the flip phones. Who really needs to look at an app and like
The
you know?
kids.
There's people
The
that
kids, they're
work.
brainwashed.
People that
Yeah.
work.
Kids.
There's people that work through apps. That's the
Right,
meaning
right.
of
That
income.
okay, all right, that's true.
The key is that they have facilitated certain tools for certain fields. But I feel like if you don't work in the field, then
I
dumb
could
your phone down.
I could wait till 10 p.m. and watch baseball tonight. I don't need to look at all the scores through my phone. You know what I mean?
Nah, man.
That's-
I mean,
me.
phones. Listen, I'm getting free cable right now because I'm watching the shows a day or two later.
Yeah,
But I get on my
Well-
phone and I'm watching the shit for free.
for sure.
Well, everyone's talking about it. That's why I don't even get on social
Yeah,
media.
but just wait until that net neutrality kick in, player.
Oh, come
What's
on. It's
that?
been
What's
like
that?
a
Well,
year
yo, yo,
already. That's not going to happen.
not-
That's not going to
Getting
happen.
your shit ready.
Not to digress. Yo, it'll be insane if it happens. It'll be fucking insane.
What is that? What is that?
Net neutrality?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
What, my man?
Break that down.
So, Pete,
Wait, and two things before you begin. Two things. Number one about the Trump thing. The only appealing. We're living in Trump stage. The only appealing thing about that dude that was running in the campaign was that he wasn't a dude that was under corporate pockets. That was probably minorly the only. At first, it was minor the only
True,
appealing
true.
thing
That's the
because that's
selling
what
point.
you
That
look
was the
for.
selling
You look
point.
for the motherfucker who say, "Yo, there's a comet that's gonna hit the earth."
My whole
And
thing.
number two, if Trump was hearing this, he'll probably call us all losers. Go ahead.
You know what? With
Continue.
Trump could stick a finger in his ass.
Yeah, man.
Listen, my whole thing bringing up Trump was I had read somewhere where Trump was blaming violence on video games and how gory. it
Far
was.
from it.
Yeah.
You serious?
That's what he was blaming.
Oh, because this happened after the
But-
shooting.
but that's
in
an old
Florida,
card.
right?
that
But
goes,
Right.
that's an
that
old
goes back
card.
to his question,
Yeah.
his initial question about mental illness. Now, all these school shootings, he's correlating school shootings
Yeah.
to video games. What do you think? I mean,
The numbers don't add up.
the goriest
That's
shit.
bullshit.
You go to black and Latino
Listen.
communities who love these games, you don't see that shit.
Damn,
And
do we play that shit?
I
though?
don't, I
Do
don't,
we
yeah,
play
we
like
do.
that?
We
Nah.
do.
I mean,
Listen.
I'm
We
sorry.
do.
The last game I had was Sega Genesis.
Nah,
listen.
The last
okay,
shit,
you know
the
what?
Oh,
last
such-
glorious shit was Mortal Kombat
such
for
an
me.
innocent time, man. I mean, yeah.
All right, all right. So I'll pop in.
I might have duking you to death,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna shoot you.
Whoopsie.
There it is.
Nah,
No,
we
yo,
do though. We do.
I'm gonna pop in. So for a guy that I used to play in Call of Duty for hours.
Awesome
I used
game,
to
by the
work
way.
on retail store, come home, play some Call of Duty to get my customer anger out. Cool,
Yeah.
no problem. But to come and say that because of this, I'm gonna go and shoot up a school, that doesn't relate.
It doesn't equate.
It does absolutely
But
not.
a lot of the shootings, the school shootings,
Uh-huh.
the kids were taking meds.
And
So
bullies.
there's
Okay,
I'm
What
sure
age
they were
surprise?
bullied
Listen,
too,
right there. You
What
stop your
age
you
surprise?
stop your sentence right there.
they're
Taking
taking meds.
The problem number one, taking meds.
You know what movie I seen this weekend? Donnie Darko.
Awesome.
I have to see that.
That's a
Classic.
crazy flick.
Classic,
Crazy
man.
flick.
Could you
Sh-
explain the ending for me, please?
Shout out. I
For
think-
Donnie
no,
Darko?
I still
Spoiler,
don't understand.
Oh
the
yeah,
ending.
yeah.
I
Emphatic
seen
hasn't
it.
seen
Oh,
I haven't
okay,
seen
okay.
it. Oh, you want me to leave the room?
Nah, nah, it's all right.
Damn.
I'll tell you
I'll
this.
leave the room.
though.
If that movie's that good,
Forbes
I'll
said,
leave
"Get the fuck out of here. I want to know the damn ending."
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you want. If you want to talk about the movie,
Yo,
I'm
but
open
it was
for
so
that.
twisted.
Knowledge over spoilers.
No,
I haven't
and
seen it, but I need to
No,
write down
awesome
and watch
flick,
it.
man. Yo,
But
write it down. Write it
I'm
down.
about the old school.
Shout outs to Juice, man. He put me onto that
Yo,
flick
word
years
up.
ago, man.
Yo,
Shout outs
I
to
just
Juice.
watched it on Saturday.
Awesome film, man.
Yo.
Underrated. Very
Yeah,
underrated.
very
film, man.
underrated.
That was Jake Gyllenhaal, right? That's his name. That was one of his early works too, man.
That was early 2001.
Yeah, that was one of his early works, man. Well, anyway, going back to the whole school shooting thing, the whole school shooting shit is that it doesn't
Yeah.
equate, and I'm with this brother because you can make that argument for anything. They say hip hop was the cause of, degrading women and violence against each other, but
It was.
you take that away, that's not gonna stop. You
Well,
really think that's gonna stop
yeah,
the
no,
neighborhoods
no.
that these people grow up in?
Yeah,
You
well,
had soul music back in the days, and that same violence was occurring.
This is true.
You're right.
This is true.
But that's because of poverty. That's
And it-
poor
well,
neighborhoods.
yeah, but
But
that's
you gotta okay. So some things need to be observed. All right. So you have these people that, first of all, live in an environment which basically
breeds it.
violence
Yeah, it
is
breeds
what
it.
they breathe and
Yeah.
dream on. So now these communities are put there for a specific reason. So you got to understand who put these people here, and the reason why they're there because it's affordable to them.
The government.
Which obviously they're being suppressed because the lower wages have been stagnant for the past 20 years to 30 years.
poor income,
After
poor
the
education,
1930s,
goes to
bro,
poor food,
or
goes to all types of
1980s,
shit.
one of those two, productivity of the humankind has gone up. And then, where's the wages? They haven't been kept up. They haven't kept up, which means people are still got to stick to their hoods, whether they like it or not, because obviously the money's not giving them opportunity to continue to grow.
And the
So, you know what I mean? It's inevitable to have a community that's still going to be violent and all this and that.
Yeah.
Because obviously the need for them to survive is there. And what happens when you are in desperate mode? You go about it any way you can.
And the minimum wage that steadily rises, inflation occurs at the
Again,
same time.
the
So
problem-
it's basically you're getting $15 an hour, but the value of everything else goes up. So you're basically stuck in the same shit.
You know what I mean? So it's supposed to be economy grows, wages grow. And what the issue that we've been happening for the past 40, 50 years is economy keeps on growing while wages keep on staying the same,
Yeah.
which is
No
the
status.
problem.
Yeah.
Word. I mean, that's where the AI robots come in. You know, you forget about all your
Fine,
problems.
which is fine, but we
Skynet takes over.
need people to actually hit them books and actually understand how AI works.
Word up.
Because we need people to be technicians when it comes to this. We need people that are going to be able to help when there's a problem. And you know what I mean? And we cannot just stick to what we do today just because it's easy to be done.
You can't stick about it. What you said? Stigmata? Stigmata Palms. That was a dope joint,
Oh,
man.
thank you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, man,
What a
Paranormal.
transition.
Yo,
produced
but
by-
listen, guys, man,
guillotine
listen.
time.
This world is fucked up,
It's
and
guillotine
it's
time.
so fucked up
This world's
that
beautiful.
that
hold
it's a manufactured
Yes.
insanity,
Gotta
and we
wake it
living
up.
in it. Y'all want to thank our guests, man. Yo, where can people reach you? Say your name and where can people reach you?
Jaquez Art is JAQUEZ ART. IG. That's my IG. That's all I have going down right now. So you guys could go ahead there and add me. And yeah, for sure.
No other guests as well.
Oh, peace, man. It's Paranormal. Yo, fellas, I gotta say, I really enjoyed this. I wish I could talk another hour with you guys on this shit. I guess we'll wait another.
Well,
another
you'll
time
come
for
back.
that.
You know
Yeah.
you're gonna come
I'll
back.
come back. Yeah, I shall return. The prodigal son shall return.
But where people can reach you at, man?
Yo, you could check me out on Twitter, Paranormal718.
You got
Other
music.
links are there on SoundCloud. You could check Paranormal. The new album drop, man. Just fucking, you can Google the Project for Global Madness by Paranormal. You'll get all the links: iTunes, Apple, Google Play, Amazon, fucking iHeartRadio. You can get the physicals on Bandcamp, CD Baby, and Big Cartel, man.
Speaking of baby, that's Derek's nickname.
I know,
want to
I
give a
know.
shout out to Baby right now.
Derek.
I remember.
Derek, say what's up.
Yeah, man.
What's up, everybody?
Where can they reach you at?
My Instagram is Hermes, HERMES__95.
Alright.
Talking on the topic of the wages remaining the same and the productivity going up, we need to waken up like my brother here said. And there's different ways to do that. If you guys follow me, you guys will figure out different ways to break out of that and to break out of. I feel like we're still being slave by the whole system.
We still are slaves, man.
Yeah.
We're just being slave in a different way.
Or we still got chains, man.
But
So you know what?
Guillotine?
Yo, we.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna throw it out there just so we could start stimulating some ideas. So right, if we need to stop feeding the monster or the dragon,
And you're gonna cut it right there because you're gonna be back to be continued. Well, my man got a gem right now.
all right.
My man's gonna leave us with a gem. You're
I
emphatic.
think-
Let him know.
Peace out, people,
I think
man.
one of the
Love y'all.
solutions to this, to all these problems, is we got to boogie. We got to dance.
Yo,
all right?
at
So-
Manufactured Insanity IG. Holla.
Yo,
Yeah.
peace out,
So
people, man.
everybody,
Later.
just put your headphones on and rock to this real quick.
oh yeah.